Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this momentous gathering, a symphony of ideas, innovation, and collaboration, the inaugural DAOVERSAL event, in which we call it Welcome to DAOVERSAL. It's an honor to stand before you today as we embark on a journey that will reshape the way we perceive and interact with our digital landscape. Today, we stand shoulder to shoulder with pioneers, thinkers, and creators who have embraced the power of blockchain, smart contract, and decentralized finance. The name DAOversal signifies the next big thing after the Big Bang. So, ladies and gentlemen, an official welcome to every single one of you. Welcome to DAOversal, where possibilities are as boundless as the horizons of our dream. As promised, we have the handsome CEO, Mr. Jonah, with us today. But before we invite him on stage, I would like to share a little bit about DAOversal. DAOversal is an interplanetary metaverse platform that aims to connect creators and brands through their own concepts, projects, and passionate designs. Using a dystopian environment, the platform allows creators to showcase their digital content and brands to utilize a new marketing terrain to create new narratives with different niche audiences. That's just a little bit of the teaser of what DAOversal really is. I would like to invite the CEO of DAOversal himself to share a little bit about his thoughts and ideas behind constructing this marvelous platform. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with me as we put our hands together to welcome the big man himself, Mr. Jonah Glasgow.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you for joining as well. Raul, how's it going today, man? Oh, I guess he is a bit busy. So again, I guess I would like to welcome everyone to this meeting. This is
Jonah,
going to be.
Could you please recap? Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, how's it going? How's everything?
Apologies. I think we owe the audience an apology due to the fact that we started a bit late. But ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, we were trying to put something for you guys. Now, we do hope that this little surprise is available at the end of the presentation. So please stay with us until the end. We have a little surprise for you.
Yes,
Over
yes,
to
it's
you,
very
Jonah.
exciting. Yeah, so I was just saying, thank you everyone for joining this meeting. I think this is going to be a very informative meeting where I think we can explore a little bit more about DAOversal. I know a lot of people are already familiar about the product, but this meeting will allow us to actually shed light on some important key factors. One of it is going to be the vision of DAOversal, the real vision of what we have in mind. And finally, we'll get more in depth also on the TFA. So this is some of the things that we'll be talking about today. But before that, we do have an exciting announcement that we'd like to make. This is actually going to be in relation to planet sales and some of the milestones that we have met in the past week. So over the past, I would say, week, we've actually been able to sell out our planets within 72 hours. This was an amazing milestone for the project because it just shows that the proof of concept is now actual viable product and that we are on a path towards success, which is very exciting. So with that being said, we've had a lot of requests in the past week actually asking for more planets. So thankfully, speaking with the development team, speaking with everyone here behind the scenes, we've been able to actually move into our second phase of planet sales. This is a very exciting moment because now we will have an additional 200 planets available. The date of this will start on August 16th at 10 p.m. GST. So please note that on your calendars and get ready for phase 2 if you were not able to actually acquire a planet during our phase 1 of DAOversal planet sales. Well, now is the perfect time. After that, we have some additional information which we would like to mention. So I think that this is just going into the presentation now, as I guess Raul is leaving me here on the stage by myself, which is fine, but it's not the same as before.
I'm
Before it
here
was more.
anytime you require assistance, man. I'll be happy to help you out.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more conversational, but I guess we're jumping right into it, which is totally fine. Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen now, guys, and we're going to go through the vision of what DAOversal is. And if you didn't know before, by the end of this, you'll see exactly what we're trying to accomplish and why owning a planet and why having land on these planets is extremely, exciting, because the possibilities that come out of this is just endless. So I encourage everyone to pay attention to this vision, ask questions in the end if you have any, so then we can actually give you guys the total concept of what we're trying to accomplish. So I will jump into the presentation now. Can you guys see my screen? I'm going to say
very clear on my end.
Awesome. So at the beginning here, this is one of my favorite parts here. DAOversal, sky is not the limit, the universe is your playground. This is exactly what we are trying to do here at DAOversal, is make an interplanetary playground. So DAOversal is an interplanetary metaverse platform. I think that everyone kind of understands that that's our catchphrase, or maybe our slogan, but the reality is that it goes so much further. What that means is actually you can go between planets and explore like-minded communities, or search and seek out like-minded communities. And there is going to be a variety of them, because there is over 2,000 planets available. This is very similar to some concepts that have been actually released in the past, but we have brought this into a more scalable solution. Previously, let's talk about other metaverse platforms such as Sandbox or Decentraland. You have one landscape, and all of the communities share that same landscape. So navigating through it, yes, it can be fun, but it also provides a lot of issues for products to actually have enough surface area to provide space for their community. Well, now at DAOversal, you have your whole planet. The whole planet can be used for a specific business, community, creators, influencers, or Web3 based products. They now have access to a planet to be able to actually facilitate their entire community, not be too clustered, but actually allow their community to build as well, as they may showcase some products or exactly what their company is about. If they're not showcasing those things, again, at the very least, it is a community where then like-minded individuals can socialize in a digital space. So during DAOversal, we had 3 periods which are quite important to the development and the future of DAOversal. During the first period, we had the discovery phase. Essentially, this is when we sat down and said, we want to build something. We want to build something in the blockchain-based space. We want to build, something in the terms of like a metaverse or a social interactive platform. And this is where we were able to actually put all those ideas on paper. And we decided, at the very end, yeah, this is exactly what we want to pursue. And let's take it forward. And with the help of DAOverse Capital, we were able to actually move then into the construction period. The construction period is a pivotal point, because this is where we actually take all the ideas and put them into reality, put them into a platform where then, of course, we can showcase exactly what we're capable of doing, and we can do it in incremental phases. And right now we're seeing the first phase, which is the planet sales, and also the land sales, which will be coming shortly after, and allowing people to actually acquire the land. After this, then you also see the platform open up where people then can freely roam between planets. And this is very exciting because now, you take something that was literally an idea and now it's a physical product that we can use. So for us as a company, this is a major milestone. And then we have the prosperity period. The prosperity period is quite simple. This means, we're live, we're doing everything that we said we would do. And now people are using the platform, but we can take that criticism, we can take that feedback from the platform of what people have mentioned that maybe could be changed or could be fixed, or maybe there's bugs, and we can consume all that data. And then we can actually make those changes to improve the platform so it's more usable or a better product in the end. And that's essentially the 3 phases that we really focus on. So again, the whole concept of DAOversal, guys, is that you can freely roam planets. This is extremely exciting because now you're not stuck to just one planet. You're not stuck to just one place or maybe one land type. Now land actually is completely different based off of exactly which planet you explore, and the communities are different. So this allows you to actually feel like you're having a more immersive experience going from planet to planet and learning a little bit more about each community. And I'm sure through this exploration, you'll find exactly where you're supposed to be. You'll find a like-minded community. You'll find, a lot of amazing brands, a lot of amazing Web3 based products or projects that are also in this space. And I'm sure there will be a right fit for you somewhere. During this exploration, you have an avatar. This avatar is extremely important to us because this was one of the first things that we started working on. And this allows you to actually select from 150 distinct traits to actually customize your facial features, customize your appearance, customize the accessories that go around on your character. And it allows you to actually build a digital identity of yourself, an extension of that. And you can build it hopefully as close to, your own personality as possible and how you wish to express yourself. So for us, this is really cool because the freedom of expression and the freedom of being able to actually, have such a unique character on our platform, I think really sets us apart. Now, one of the main products that we also have is MySpace. A lot of people ask about MySpace because this is actually something that is free for everyone, even if you don't have a piece of land, even if you don't own a planet. All you have to do is log into the platform. You have to create your avatar and you will be able to get access to MySpace. MySpace is actually one of the coolest things because now you have an area where you can actually sit there and do, activities with a group of up to 10, 15 people, maybe even 20, depending on how heavy the server load is. But the concept is that you have 20 people where you can actually sit there and do, presentations, AMA discussions. You can sit there and actually just hang out with your friends if that's what you would like to do, in a more personalized space that is specifically yours. And here's an example of what that will look like, the MySpace. You can see here that we actually have a monitor, or let's say a big screen where you can then sit there and post up presentations. You'll be able to actually sit there and maybe watch some movies, live streaming. You'll be able to do all of those things, within a personalized space with your friends or with your colleagues, and actually have a more immersive experience. I would like to say eventually that we'll be holding these type of meetings in a place like this in MySpace, where then, people actually can express themselves, and you can see a digital identity of Raul and some of the other team members here, which is really cool. And then, of course, if you see us when you're freely roaming, please feel free to say hi. So at the hub of the galaxy, we have DAOVERSAL Planet. This is essentially where you will spawn in if you do not have your own land. And again, you don't actually have to own land or a planet to use the service because we're open for everyone. But obviously, owning those things just kind of allows your experience to be more immersive. But nonetheless, you have the availability to just explore and find exactly where you would like to be. And at the hub of the galaxy, the DAOVERSAL Planet, this is where we actually set things such as tax for businesses that wish to sell products on our planet. Just like any other planet, they have tax as well. we'll be able to govern, how the platform actually runs. And this is through creating DAO votes, and taking back some of that prosperity period. You come here and you say, hey, like, let's add more unique traits for avatars if that's something that someone wants. And the community can vote whether we take that forward or not. And whatever the decision is, as a consensus from the entire community, that's the goal of what we're trying to do. And that's what we'll focus on. Following that, we have planning of residential plots. And this is similar to what you have on other planets, but you'll also have the availability to sit there and have your own space also on the DAOVERSAL planet. And again, we have the expansion side of things, which is actually providing SDKs for creators, people that would like to build on top of what we already have existing, such as if you would like to actually add more clothing and be able to actually monetize on that, or if you would like to design buildings, our SDK will be available and provide everyone the necessary tools to be able to actually import their designs into our platform. And I think this will be a unique use case, because if you are creative, or if you are someone that's thinking of how can I monetize on my land, or how can I monetize on this platform, well, this is the main idea, is that you actually are able to import unique building designs. You're able to import unique clothing and actually have other people within the community purchase that. So going into a little bit more information about the planetary ecosystem, which I think everyone already knows, we have 2,000 planets. And those 2,000 planets range in different planet types and also like age types, but also the land is different. But for each planet, there is 1,000 pieces of land, which allows you to actually have quite a large community within each planet. So these are the different types of actual planets or land that we have available. And you can see here, the first one being the Stone Age. Now, this is the easiest or the lowest barrier of entry. So this planet actually only costs $500. And as we go up in price, then you can see that the planet type gets more advanced. So right here, we actually see the Bronze Age and the Iron Age. I'm just going to scroll through these quickly. Industrial Age, the Electric Age, Information Age, and finally the AI Age. The AI Age is actually the most advanced because there is very few of them available in the entire ecosystem. So with respect to the low supply, the demand might be high, and that also might reflect in the price. So the whole goal of owning these planets is that you can fractionalize these planets. You can fractionalize each piece of it to a community member. And I think that we understand that through the 1,000 pieces of land. This is a unique system which allows everyone to actually take partial ownership of a planet with respect to the Star Lord or the planet owner, but you also have the availability to contribute to how that planet will function through, providing different services or speaking with, community members on what maybe the direction should go for that planet. So it is becoming more like a community that, its own mini DAO within a larger ecosystem. So now we have to talk about what fuels the DAOVERSAL ecosystem. And this is actually through land mining. Land mining is something that actually happens on every piece of land on all planets, which allows people to accumulate RT, which is resource tokens. And this plays a crucial role in actually being able to sit there and put down different infrastructure on the land that you own. So depending on how wide the building type is that you're putting down will determine, how much resource tokens you may need to spend to actually sit there and put down that blueprint. Now, of course, this is cool because if you have a very, very tall skyscraper, it's not measured in height, it's only measured in width, which allows it to kind of keep it fair. But also, if you design correctly, you can have a lot of surface area because you can always build upwards. These blueprints are kind of one of the biggest things that we want to emphasize because everyone has access to create blueprints through our SDK. We will provide a lot of them as well, kind of like to get the ball rolling. But we encourage developers and creators to actually participate in this as well, because this can only improve the ecosystem if everyone contributes. And that's the goal in the end, is that we have people contributing to this through different designs, whether it's you're more interested in designing avatars, or maybe you're more interested in designing buildings and infrastructure. Well, we encourage everyone to participate because this can only improve the project. So how do you mine with DAOversal? This is a question that, again, people ask. Simply, all you have to do is get some land. Once you own some land, you'll be able to start mining instantly, and you'll be able to earn RT or DU, the resource token. And how you spend that resource token will determine on what you build on that land. And there is ways to multiply your staking factor through referrals. So that is something that, again, we've implemented just to, try and encourage a growing community. We have here the DAOversal tokenomics, DAO-T. This is actually the entire ecosystem token. So eventually you'll be able to convert resource token into DAO-T, and you'll be able to use DAO-T to actually get more resource tokens if you need. And this will be actually held on the Conscious Network chain. So it'll be CRC20, and we will see that the total supply is 100 million. You can see here the allocation that we've designed for each section. So the initial 20% was done for fundraising, private VCs, things like this, and also the launch pads. We have 49% actually available for the DAO, and this is important because it determines, operation costs, how we are moving forward, what should we do to pursue, and what we should do as a community to pursue, different activities and how we do that. And we can see here also the treasury, which has some operation costs as well, but primarily it focuses on liquidity for decentralized and centralized exchanges. We have 2% available for advisors and 14% that's allocated for the team. So the future of DAOversal. We see here we have quite an extensive roadmap. I'm not going to get into all the details, but I'll kind of point out some of the key points which I think we should notice, or we should talk about. And that will be obviously that we do have the development stages right now, which we are still in. This is the construction phase that we've been talking about. And this comes with a lot of work that will be put into the project from the team side of things. So it's very busy. We have, the launch of the DAOversal platform, the launching of the land sale and land mining, which is all happening right now. And then we have DAOversal game development, which will carry forward for the next few months until finally we launch our MySpace. And this will come also with the avatar system that we've designed. And then, of course, during this time, we might have some exciting news, such as centralized listings. And we'll continue with the B2B marketing for Planet Sales, or B2B team will actually be working with other businesses to try and get them into our ecosystem, because that can only help us further down the road. We will be focusing also during this time on building blueprint designs and development, which means, the infrastructure for the entire platform. And at that same time, we'll actually be launching our land builder and beta, which allows people to actually customize their land and also customize some of the buildings on their land. And as you guys know, we have some of the team members, which I would like to mention. Adil here, he is actually the CEO of DAOVERSAL Capital. He's helped us a lot through initial fundraising, and obviously has been a mentor to the entire team for guiding us to ensure that we take things in the right direction. We have our amazing CTO, which is Kay. And she's actually featured in Forbes 30 Under 30. She's been in the blockchain space for a very long time and was one of the biggest miners in China in 2013. We have our CMO, Mohammed. He helps a lot with in terms of the marketing direction that we take, development, on ensuring that we actually provide strong campaigns to reach a larger audience. And then finally, we have our CSO, which is Ash. Ash is a valued innovator. This guy is amazing at providing strategies on how we actually execute launching these products and the direction that we take and, the narrative that we actually portray to the audience. So his strategies become extremely valuable for, our ideas and how we execute them. And yeah, guys, that gives you a better idea of what DAOversal is. I'm sure I see a lot of questions already in the chat. So again, we'll try and get through as many as we possibly can, but I hope this gives you guys a better idea of the picture of DAOversal and what we're trying to accomplish. This is not just the planet and owning a piece of land and mining resources, but it's much bigger in the grand scale of things. And of course, this will take quite some time for us to accomplish all of these milestones or all of these goals that we aim to accomplish, but it's going to be a very exciting journey. I'm happy that everyone is here, a part of that journey. So that is my presentation for right now. After this, we might be going now into some more presentations actually now about the TFA. But before we do that, I'm going to look at some questions and see if anything is applicable to what we just talked about. I'm not seeing too many questions actually.
Hi, Jonah. I have one, if you don't mind.
Of course.
I did receive a question from Miselo. I suppose that's the right way of pronouncing his name, Miselo. Now, he or she's question is, what is your source of revenue, and is your liquidity going to be sustainable? If so, what makes you sure about the so many projects that has failed over the last few months will not happen to DAOversal?
Okay, great question. So our source of revenue primarily comes from planet sales, land sales, but then also additional add-ons for your avatar, additional, let's say premium infrastructure or blueprints, which we offer. And this allows us to actually create a quite strong revenue stream because there is a lot of land available. And we know that it's not going to sell out, overnight. But that being said, it gives us a long trajectory on us always accumulating revenue through land and planet sales. So for us, this is quite an important feature because it allows us to be sustainable. Our liquidity, the way that we like to think of things is an 80-20 split. So we put 80% of that back into the community. We put 80% of that back into ensuring, the company is doing whatever it needs to do on the Web3 side of things. And we have 20%, which is actually used for just keeping the lights on because, the first 3 years is the hardest time for any project, any startup. We know the first 5 years is the most critical time. So we're prepared to do an 80-20 split to ensure that we're providing as much, let's say, liquidity backed into the platform, because that's, what's going to ensure we have a long lifespan. And yeah, it's tough, if this is not done correctly, because, projects will disappear. And because it is a bear market right now, this is, something we have to consider. A lot of projects that were here last year will not be here, in a few months. So it's tough. But I will say for developers, and for startups, the bear market is actually the best opportunity to just keep your head down and build. And I think that's what we've done for the past years. We really kept our head down and just continued building and building and building in preparation for, the success we have now. And I think we can see that through the fact that Planet sold out in 72 hours.
Okay,
So,
Mimi Cello, I hope that answers your question. Jonah, shall we do another before we move on to the next agenda?
of course.
Right. This is another question by an individual of the name Meng Wang. And Meng Wang is inquiring, what kind of support can Star Lords expect to receive through DAOversal?
This is a great question. So, as a Star Lord, you're kind of like a real estate agent, I would like to say. And this allows you to actually, do a lot of things with, helping sell land. So the support that you get as a planet owner is almost like you own your own NFT collection. And this is, extremely cool because if you look at some of the popular NFT collections right now in OpenSea, all of them see royalties for every single sale that is done. And this is kind of the same concept that we have, except now you have royalties on every single land that is sold on your planet. To ensure that the company stays revenue positive, like we've talked about in the last question, we do have to actually take, I would say, 95% of the cost of the land sale, but that 5% is royalties that is given directly to every planet owner. And with selling out successfully all of the land on your planet, you can see that being a very strong support system between the project, DAOversal, and also the Star Lords. Now, the Star Lords also have more control over this process because they also do get access to setting the price of the land and what would be, applicable for the market, depending on whether you have, a lot of land available, maybe the price might be slightly lower. And of course, if the land is becoming more scarce, maybe your community is growing, which is amazing, then, the supply is going down, demand might go higher, and you can readjust that price to reflect that. And this is where we support the planet owners as much as possible. And I'm sure there's going to be more features coming out, but during these phases of these early initial phases of actually selling land, this is the support that we're offering them.
Okay, Mr. Meng Fang, I hope that answers your question. I think it's time to get back on track with the presentation for today. We have a list of agendas lined up for every one of you. The first part, we're done with that by Mr. Jonah. Thank you so much for your time to offer us a brief walkthrough into what DAOversation is, what it has to offer, its values, its mission, what is it trying to set out to achieve. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm particularly interested in the MySpace feature that DAOversal has to offer. Reason being, I'm quite fed up with the space I have on planet Earth. So I'm considering getting MySpace on DAOversal. It's more private, it's more isolated, and I get to be myself without being around actual people. But that's just about me and enough about me. So let's get to the next part of the presentation, which I am sure most of the listeners here have gathered for. And that, of course, is
Yes.
the targeted financial assistance plan. Ladies and gentlemen, we understand we have been bombarded with all these questions in the chat box, but nevertheless, it's time to rock and roll and put your questions to the spotlight. Mr. Jonah, the floor is yours with the TFA presentation.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Yeah, as you said, there's been a lot of questions about the TFA. So I hope that this sheds some more light on what is going to be coming and hopefully, again, allow a lot of people to have their questions answered. So I'll wait till you can see my screen again. Can you see it?
It's clear on my end, Jonah. Very clear.
Perfect. So yeah, we have talked about the TFA, which was originally the FRA by Satoshi AI. Part of our partnership with Satoshi AI was trying to be able to provide support in areas maybe which they couldn't for community members, which have had a lot of issues in the past. And of course, since we formed this partnership, we've learned a lot more about it, and I can say that this is something that the community needs. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here with this package. So the TFA is accessible to all users on DAOVERSAL, and all users from previous communities will have access to this. What this means is that they will actually be able to get a release rate of 0.15% daily. And the unique thing about this is that everyone that was in Satoshi AI will get access to the TFA Plus. And this is going to be 0.2% release rate. What you can see here is that there is some packages that you will be able to purchase or get points for previous penning rewards that were stuck on previous platforms, through other communities. Through the Hyperverse, through the Hypernation community, you will actually be able to get some points allocated to you on the DAOVERSAL platform. We know that this has been an issue, since talking with a lot of community members, and this is something that we personally really wanted to take seriously and ensure that we can try and solve. So the penning rewards that will be consolidated, and into phase 2, they will actually be allocated into points on DAOVERSAL. And when the TFA goes live, you'll be able to use these points to acquire packages. These packages range in different sizes. So you can see here we have A, which is the 5,000 package, B, which is the 50,000 package, and C, the 500,000 package. And these credits, are kind of going from previous, Hyperverse, hyper community penning rewards, and then turned into TFA credits. This has been the biggest since this partnership with Satoshi AI and Hyperverse and the entire community. The biggest question has been, what can we do to get access to some penning rewards? And this is when we formed this partnership, this is what they expressed as something they had issues solving. So I'm hoping that everyone finds this informative and that they now have a clear idea on what's to come. So through these different packages, you'll actually see that there is a 1.5 multiplier on the rewards. So if you continue to participate, then you have the availability to actually increase this quite substantially. And you will see that the subscriber count means actually how many can you purchase of these packages. And A here, 5,000 is only available for one-time purchase. You will see B, which you're available to purchase up to 3 of them, and C, unlimited. Now, the daily release rate for all of these is 0.15%, which means that you have to charge it. And I like to think of this as like a battery. What this battery does is it allows you to actually sit there and log into the platform, just like you would an iPhone, click charge, and get some percentage towards being fully charged. There will be some milestones to hit, but once you are fully charged, you will see that your release rate goes from 0.15% all the way up to 0.6%. And this is quite exciting because, again, there's a milestone. Once you reach that milestone, the release rate actually increases substantially. Now, you have to think of this as an informative way that we are not necessarily, DAOVERSAL is a separate entity. We're not connected to anything that's happened with the Hyperverse or Hypernation community. But as a partnership, we're trying to offer something that didn't exist before. And that being said, we still have to ensure still that our project is sustainable. So there is a release rate and there is a charging period to ensure that we can meet those goals. We do not want DAOVERSAL to have any issues, let's say in 1 month. So this is why all of these packages take time to get access to some of the penning rewards that were not available on previous experiences with Hyperverse. So please keep that in mind, everyone. Every assistance pack, will provide a 1.5x return. The charging period refers to the duration of which the release amount is not reached 100%. So that means essentially every single day you have to log into the platform, you have to click charge, and you have to continue doing that until you reach the total amount of your subscription pack. So for pack A, that would be 5,000. And the release rate means, if you times if you times the pack size 5,000 times 0.15, this will determine actually what your release rate is daily. And we see here, we have an example of the TFA plus down here. So let's say you're at 0% milestone. You are actually getting a release rate of 10 daily. And this will continue to happen until you reach 100%. And then from there, you will have access to an additional 2,500, or that multiplier that we talked about. And this will be 0.6%, so totaling 30 daily. So I hope this gives everyone a little bit more of an idea. Think of it as like a battery. You have to charge every single day your battery. And once you reach, and every day you charge, something will be released. And as you actually increase this charge rate to 100%, then you actually see access to the 0.6% release rate. There is something also that I wanted to mention. I'm just going to go back here. This market reward multiplier. Now, this is actually quite cool, because if you want to speed up your charging period, every single day you click charge, like we saw on the previous slide, you're getting, 10 DU daily. Now, if you actually own a piece of land, if you sit there and have, a referral multiplier, or if you have other things that you're doing, maybe you own a planet as well, all of those rewards will then allow you to actually receive a multiplier, which will then be added to your charge period. And this can increase your charging rate substantially, depending on, if you take a more passive role, or if you have a more aggressive role and own some land and own a planet. So yeah, I hope this gives everyone a little bit more idea on what's coming up with the TFA package, and how everyone can participate in this. And again, guys, this is open to everyone. It's not just Satoshi AI. It's not just, let's say, the delegates, but this is for the entire community. And here I want to mention, withdrawals will open once you've reached a 30% milestone. And then from there, of that 30%, then you'll have some that will be available for you to withdraw daily. And this will increase every single day how much is available for you to withdraw as you progress through the remaining amount of your charging period. So for example, we can see here that you have daily rewards. How much are you getting daily? Well, essentially you can see here it's 5,000 times 0.2% for the TFA plus, and this would equal 10 DU daily. Withdrawals begin at the charging amount of 1,500. So you'll have to do this until you reach 1,500, and then you'll have availability to withdraw. And the withdrawal amount on the 0.2% will be 1,500 times 0.2% will equal 3. And then you see as day 2 equals 1,510 times 0.2%, you'll see that this actual withdrawal amount increases. So in just 2 days, you'll have 6 DU available. But, after 30, 45 days, the daily withdrawal rate will increase as well. After the charging period, this increases up to 30 DU. So again, this allows you to actually enjoy now the full benefits of being fully charged through the TFA package. And guys, that's about it. I hope this gives you a better understanding of what's coming up in the TFA. And remember, it is open to all Hyperverse Hypernation community members, and we will try our best to support you during this time. If you have any questions about the TFA, please feel free to ask.
Yep, thank you, Jonah, for spending a little bit more of your precious time to share on the TFA. And ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Jonah mentioned, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the chat box. And personally speaking, I'd like to express a heartfelt thank you to our CEO for his inspiring and insightful session. I think most of us here has gotten a clearer vision of where DAOversal aims to go, and it's also built a strong sense of community. And DAOversal truly is a shining beacon for all of us. Mr. Jonah, thank you so much for sharing your time, wisdom, and vision with us today. But before we let you off the hook, do remember I'm here with about 400 or about 500 participants. We're not going to let you off the hook so easily. Shall we take a couple more questions before you go on with your daily routines?
Yeah, it's no problem.
Okay, there is another question by Meng Wang, which I suppose is not one that we should skip because it truly is a question that attacks the very core of DAOversal. Now, the question from Meng Wang: if you can put yourself in the position of a new user of your platform, but with your development knowledge and experience, how would you best get value from DAOversal? How would you execute yourself from getting started to deliver the best possible value for that new user? And how would you best spread the word on DAOversal's unique selling points to the rest of the Hyperverse community and or public? This is a very long question. I think there's three parts to this. For your perusal, I will be sending a copy in the chat box for everyone to see as well. Here you go. There it is. I think it's only fair to give you a couple of seconds to process the questions. There's three questions in there. So whenever you feel like answering, the floor is yours.
Okay, so it really depends on the approach that you would wish to take when joining the platform. But as a new user, I think the best, experience you could have, or at least the most minimum experience. Okay, I'll say with the minimum and a maximum experience. The minimum side of things would be, I think, owning a piece of land, because then you have the availability to build whatever you feel, or whatever you want to express, however you want to express yourself. Essentially, at that point, you can use that as a small building block, and really immerse yourself within the platform. I think that's the minimum that a new user should do to fully enjoy all of the products that we've built. Now, if you want to take this further, then maybe owning multiple pieces of land or also a planet can then also enhance that experience, and allow you to extract as much value from the platform as possible. And then, being able to also participate in, showcasing maybe your avatar design or getting unique accessories. These are all things that can also further enhance your experience on a platform like this and allow you to extract the most value from a user experience side of things. How would you execute getting started to deliver the best possible value? That's the next question. I think the best way to do that is just to join the Telegram, figure out what other people are doing, learn from them, and slowly participate in whichever area you feel most passionate about as a new user, because it can be quite overwhelming in the beginning. So it's best to just sit there and slowly learn what other people are doing and how they're enjoying the platform, and see if that aligns with what you think would work with you. How would you best spread the word of DAOversal's unique selling points to the rest of the Hyperverse community and or public? Again, I've said this a lot already, guys. This is free to use. You don't actually have to own the land. It just enhances your experience by owning land. But anyone can come to the platform and freely roam around and enjoy the entire DAOversal ecosystem. So I think that is the most unique selling point that we have, is it's completely free and available for everyone. So whether you have people that have never heard about us before, but you want to hold a more interactive, let's say, Zoom meeting, well, you can do that in the DAOversal MySpace. And that unique selling point alone, I think is the most value that we can offer. Any type of game that's free to play, on, let's say, the Xbox marketplace, they they have a user base because it's simply free to play. There's no upfront cost from a user to actually see if they like the experience. And if you do like it, then great, we're happy to have you in the community. But there's nothing stopping you from joining, seeing how you like it, and using MySpace in the way that best benefits you.
Thank you, Jonah. And there is quite a number of questions in the chat box related to the marketing plan, as in Stone Land and Stone Planets. For that, we will get into the presentation of the marketing plan right after either this segment or the segment after this, but that is part of the agenda for today's presentation. And I think let's give Jonah a breather for a moment, let him sip a glass of water or something. There he is. He looks like an ambassador for Coca-Cola. And okay, there is a question here in the chat box that I think it's fine for us to take it. And her question, sorry, comes from Janice. Will the Satoshi AI FRA winners be considered for the TFA Plus? And as Mr. Jonah expressed, yes, the TFA Plus is for those people who did receive an FRA in Satoshi AI. That's one question we've knocked down. Another question, if I may, is from Shaikh Chand Basha. And I hope it's a he. He is asking, when will the TFA be starting? That again was answered by Mr. Jonah. The TFA will begin in September. Mr. Jonah, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that covers essentially everything. Maybe then we can sit here and or we can bring up our surprise that we talked about earlier. I think that might be a great thing to do.
Yeah. For those who are lucky enough, you would have probably seen her. But nevertheless, I give the honor to you, Jonah. I will just handle the theatrics of it. I have something planned for it, but whenever you're ready, please feel free to welcome her to the stage.
Yeah. So guys, we have a special guest here. Our CTO was kind enough to give us some of her time. She's very busy working behind the scenes here. So I would like to introduce everyone to Kay. She is...
Hi, hello everyone. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, so Kay, thank you for joining. We just wanted to sit here and take a few minutes just to allow you to be introduced, because a lot of people have been asking what's the brains behind this project in terms of the technical side of things. Maybe they just think just the face, and so we have to show the brains.
Yeah, we are working as a team for over 3 years, 2 and 7 months, around 2 years and 7 months. Yeah. Me and Jonah, we work together. Jonah is not only a face, it's purely we actually founded this project together. So it's been, for me, it's been working on development over 3 years only on the DAOVERSAL. So this project, actually, in the technical part, we can talk a lot about this, because it's including not only blockchain technology, not only the centralized part, not only the U3D engine part, and lots of AI technology implement together. So this project is quite complicated. So it will take a longer time to for me to tell everyone the details about, right? So yeah, it's my honor that it's my honor that today can speak with all the communities and all the people here. Maybe we can start from my personal introduction, my background introduction. I think everyone is a little bit interested in who am I. So I will just share the screen to everyone. Okay. 1 second.
Oh, okay, you still here?
We seem to have lost Kay. Nevertheless, please stay with us, dear audience. We'll try to establish connection with Kay in just a moment.
Yeah, I think that will be best. I want her to talk a little bit more about some of the things that actually inspired her about DAOversal in the very beginning, because I think everyone will find this quite interesting. I know I did. And, you know, it's always cool. It's always cool to see. I think she has joined again.
Welcome back, Kay.
Hi.
The floor is
I will
yours.
share the screen right now. Okay, just for some yeah, so everyone can see my working desktop.
Yes, very
So,
clear. Very clear.
okay. So I'm going to introduce me a little bit. This is my actually introduction, but I'm afraid that it's not so translated so well. So I apologize for the English because I'm not first speaking. My first language is not English, but I will try my best to present to everyone. So actually, my education background is actually I graduated from the University of London. Actually, it's the University College London, and actually I graduated since I was 19 years old because I jumped grade for 3 times. I actually started my blockchain experience from 2013. I was the earliest Bitcoin miner in China. So back in 2013, I owned 20,000 Bitcoins. And back in 2014, I used to event a Web2 company, which is a Steam Live company. And it's sold to a Nasdaq listed company named Cheetah Mobile. So in 2017, in 2017, I was the founder and the main developer of the NFT and GameFi application named CryptoDocs, if someone know about this. And in 2018, I was founded and served as a CTO. I was the CEO and CTO for the Web3 social media platform named Ono. So this project brought me to the Forbes. Yeah, so it's we are receiving lots of fundraising from all over the world, including the Bitcoin Father in China and also the KIP, Korean Investment Partners Fund in Korea. So in 2022, I joined actually in 2021, I already joined the DAOVERS Capital, but 22, I joined as a partner. Like in 21, I joined the DAOVERSAL, this project. So we've been working together for a very long time. So I listed in Forbes 30 under 30s in 2018. So I will show you some of the pictures later. So I also am a EOS early ecological investor, and I was the core code developer for ZOS, and I was developed the on-chain cases for Cosmos, and I was one of the earliest smart contract developer in ETH Ethereum ecosystem. So here are some of my achievements. This is the one I was go on the Forbes and the magazine, and this is the government of Korea. They have the interview with me, and this is interview by an Indian television. I was in India, and so here is my investors. This one is the Li Xiaolai. He's the father of Bitcoin in China. He's a very big whale, and these two are my also very powerful investor too. And this guy is the one from the KIP, Korean Investment Partner. Yeah. So I also at the Philippine government speech, and this is President Xi, the Chinese president in China, and this investor is also a high position in Chinese government, and this is my professor. He is his name is Christopher Pisadier. He is a winner of the 2010 Nobel Prize, Economic Nobel Prize. And this is my two partner, also work for DAOVERSAL. John Milburn is a very well-known white hat chief. He's a well-known white hat, and he actually built the base station in South Korea. And this one, Brock Pierce, he's a Hollywood director, but recently very well-known in blockchain because he invested a lot. Yeah, this is my investor too, and she's very famous in China too. So lots of my background. So this is this guy is the one who bought my company before. He's the CEO and the founder of the listed company, Nasdaq listed company named Cheetah Mobile. Yeah, so yeah, this is basically what I my background. So I think we will have a meeting in Friday. I was planning to present the DAOVERSAL ecosystem today, but how do you think so? The host, bro, do you think we will start today or we will leave it for Friday?
Hi, Kay. Thank you so much for sharing all this valuable information. Now, nevertheless, the reason why Kay is with us today is because Jonah has taken the liberty to introduce her as one of the key members behind the DAOVERSAL team. Now, as introduced, Kay serves as the CTO, Chief Technology Officer at DAOVERSAL, and we have put a session, a very special session for all of you, which is on this Friday. We are having an AMA session with Kay on the 18th of August at 5 a.m. EDT, with an encore for those of you in the Western region, EDT at 11 a.m. I think, Kay, that's enough of a very brief yet interesting introduction. I'm very sure there's a lot for you to get into, but can I suggest that we keep this contents for the Friday session?
Yeah, sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please
Sorry,
give
guys.
Kay a huge round of applause for
Okay,
sharing
I
with
think.
us. Yeah,
Oh,
Jonah,
sorry.
over to you, man.
Sorry, Ro, I apologize. Okay, I think a lot of people would be interested to know a little bit too also about your gaming background, because since this is a platform that involves a lot of the gaming aspect side of things,
Oh
the
yeah.
inspiration behind.
Okay. Yeah. The background of my gaming history, I didn't put it in my background. I didn't write it down actually. Since 2015, after I sold my first company to the listed company, I actually developed I think over 10 games but only for Chinese community, and also some of them, like for example like NFT games like Crypto Dogs, we developed it for the lots of the people all around the world. So we actually very experienced in using the Unity 3D and also WebGL, and also the other engine, including the Unreal, yes, Unreal engine.
If I'm
So
not
actually,
mistaken, you
yeah.
were also, I think you're hiding something too, that you were top world ranked in mobile, what was it, League of Legends too, right?
Yes. Yes, and I personally, that's my hobby, and I personally invested a lot of the game team, who is playing. They are getting the competition, the world's competition of League of Legends. Myself also played in the team too, because there's no official world competition for women, so I have no chance to get the winner, but I was the winner in a small, like a university.
Very cool, very cool. I love that you've played a lot of, you've been highly ranked in some games, almost some that I can't even compete in. But it just shows that we all come from that gaming background. We all love games, and this is really what inspired us to pursue this ecosystem for DAOVERSAL. But it's just so much more, and we're all passionate
Yes.
about gaming.
Yes, correct. Yes. So I will talk more if I have more time. Yeah, maybe next time.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Kay, for coming on. Raul,
Thank
back
you.
to you.
Thank you, Kay, and thank you, Jonah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested to know more about the beautiful, talented, and intelligent CTO of DAOVERSAL, Kay, we encourage you to join us on the DAOversation session, which is basically an AMA of her in this time around, on the 18th of August at 5 a.m. EDT. There will be an encore at 11 a.m. EDT. Mr. Jonah and Miss Kay, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Not really. If I have more time, I can add a lot. But today I think we can leave it to Friday.
We most
Anyone,
definitely can. Jonah, is there
yeah.
anything else from you before we move on with the marketing plan presentation?
No, I think that's everything. I hope you guys do not mind. I have actually another meeting coming up, so I will let you guys take it forward, and I look forward to our next meeting.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jonah. Thank you so much, Miss Kay. Ladies and gentlemen, before we part ways, please give a round of applause, or in this case, a virtual applause to Mr. Jonah and the beautiful Miss Kay.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Raul.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care,
I will
guys.
see you next Friday.
See you on Friday, Kay.
See you, everyone. Bye bye. Enjoy your time in DAOVERSAL.